Welcome to another edition of Talking Models. Today we're going to look at a oldie but a goodie from Pat Delaney and currently available through Monsters in Motion, The Phantom of the Opera. I've always been a fan of this piece. I've loved it from the first time that I've seen it. Well, this one is a commission that I've done for my client in California, or California. Ooh. But it'll be on its way today, at the time of the shooting, to its new home. Let's take a look at this beautiful kit. You can see just how Pat captured the face, the stance, the mystery of Eric the Phantom. So as you can see, he done an amazing job with the face. The eyes, just the sunken in cheekbones, the teeth, the crinkles in the skin, the hair that hung around his head. You've got the collar that goes around the head, the tie that below there. He did that beautifully. You've got the hands in that posture of the one hand kind of holding to his chest and the other above it, kind of just pondering what's going to happen. You've got the cloak that he wore. There's a lot of detail in the cloak, the arms, the legs, the feet. The feet, it's kind of in a different position. It's kind of, the feet are pointing outwards, different angles. It just adds to the mystery of the twist to the kit that you see, like he's mid-turn, like he just spotted. Maybe it was Christine. Who knows? We're going to talk a little bit about what I did to bring him to life. The whole piece was base coated with the Stylorez light gray, and then from there it was just start painting. I'm going to start with his cloak, pants, and feet. The piece of the whole cloak, if you will, the pants and the feet were all base coated with the black acrylic by hand. I just painted the whole thing, made sure I covered everything, got it good and deep. Then what I did is I sprayed some of this amazing black color, Body Bag Black by Freak Flex Paint. I sprayed that completely over it. It's just a flat black. I've mentioned it several times, so I'm not going to go into great detail from previous videos. Cover the whole thing that way. Then it was time to start building up my colors. So for the top, his cloak, if you will, I enlisted one of my other favorite colors from the Freak Flex line, which is Near Black. And basically what I did is I just started hitting all the highlighted areas, the folds of the cape, folds of the part just above his arms, the tops of his arms. Just kind of went back and forth until I got exactly what I was looking for. Once I had that complete, I came in with some transparent black, which if you haven't done yourself a favor and got this, it's from Comart. I really like this stuff. And I started just building up the shadows in the folds of the his suit and his arms. Everywhere that there's folds, start spraying that in. Then it was that process of back and forth. I came back in with the Near Black, punched it in a little bit heavier, got a little bit closer with my airbrush on all the folds of the cape, all around the areas, if you will. Then I tried something different. The transparent black is usually what I always use to shade black after I've used like the Near Black for the tops of the folds of the different areas of a kit. I came back in with the Body Bag Black, and I punched in all the fold area with that. Not really close, just a little bit back to kind of build up the shading. And what I did is I came in more from inside the fold, right toward the top of the folds, if you will. And of course, as I came toward the tops of the folds, I kind of lightened it up a little bit. So it was like dark to light, boom, into the top of the folds. Then what I did is I came back in with the Near Black and really hit a little bit closer and really punched up the tops of the folds on the cape and of the area above the arms too. And that is how I brought that to the look that you see here. Now for his pants area, over that black, I enlisted some of the Freak Flex. This one is called Dead Guy Gray. And I just kind of punched in the tops of the folds on the pants and hit that whole area there, just to give it, again, like I said, a different look. And then it was the same shadowing with the body bag black in the folds, and then a little bit closer with that gray, Dead Man's Gray, and hit all the tops of the folds of the pants. And that was it. So now on his feet, my client wanted the shoes to appear a little bit different, a little bit starker. So what I did with that is I pulled out one of Garage US colors, which is Pun 13, which is Punisher Black. And I just sprayed the feet area completely with that, and it gives it just a bluish black look. So I shot the shoes with that. He has a little bit of a pattern on the top of the foot like part of the shoe, and I just lightly hit that with some of the near black for just a little bit of an accent, if you will. And that's his feet, his pants, his cloak, and on his arms areas here on the tops of the arms. That was simply done with a little bit of the Dead Guy Gray, just really lightly hitting the tops of the folds. And then of course I shadowed it with the body bag black. And now on to his tie. His tie I want a red. So what I did is I started simply over the black with a base coat of dark red from Garage US Colors. This is a really good color, especially over black. It just gives you a rich look, almost like a maroon, but a dark. It's just, try it sometime, over black. Once I had that in, I pulled out my trusty Sunburn Red from Freak Flex Paint, and I just kind of punched in a little bit heavier on the tops of the tie, just a little bit more of an accent color. And then gently I took some transparent black, sprayed it over the tie, calling it done. Now, on to the Phantom's head and his hands. Okay, for that was a variety of different colors that I used. I started out with some from the Master series from Reaper Paints. It is Moldy Skin. And what I did is I sprayed the complete head with that and also his hands. Once I had that done, I started building up some shadowing, some shading, and my client wanted a more darker, sinister look to the kit, so that's what I was going for. So over that kit, which was over a gray primer, I came in with transparent raw umber from Jesse over at Garage US Colors, and I just began just misting it over it. Just a light mist, punching in some of the shadows on his skin, on his hands, around the hairline, all those areas, just to start building up my shadows. Once I was done with that, I went over to the Master Series again, and I enlisted the tan highlight. And what I did is I just shot that lightly over the whole head, just kind of misted it back. Hold your brush back, 8-10 inches. Mist the head, the hands, bottom of the hands. Once you get that done, then what I did then is they have a 3-step process to that series: tan highlight, tan skin, and tan shadow. I then came in with the tan shadow, thinned it down a little bit, and I misted the whole piece over the whole thing to start building up a sinister, fleshy look. So once I had that all sprayed over, it was a process of coming back in with the transparent raw umber and really hitting them shadows a little bit more and just kind of lightly misting. And then what I did is I came in with the 3rd step, which is the basic tan skin. And what I did with that is I just started punching all the highlights: top of his cheeks, top of his nose, tops of the fingertips, the center of his bald head on the back, forehead, ears. Every highlighted area of it, I hit it with that. And that gave me this look that you see right here. Then I went one step further. I enlisted from Garage US Colors transparent yellow orch. And what I did with that is I sprayed it over the complete piece. Just shot it. It gives it like a yellow, brownish tint. It's just really cool, and a little bit of a yellow to it. If you remember from the book, his skin, he was inside, so he had a more yellowish skin tone because he didn't see a lot of sunlight. He was stuck in a bottom of an opera theater, sneaking around the areas and all the back stories of it. So once I had that all sprayed down, it was a process of coming back in with some different colors, transparent raw umber, and just building colors back and forth, re-highlighting with the different stages of the tan set, just getting to where the look I was thinking in my brain was able to come to the kit that you see before you. It's a process. And then what I do is I come in with a pastel, which is like a burnt sienna, and I just came in and punched in with a dry brush all the folds of the skin around the bald head of the hairline, tops, follow the hairline, just kind of punch it all in. Hands, fingers, just kind of start building it up with that pastel. And it gives you just yet another dimension to it. Cheekbones below it, I just hit with some pastel black around his eyes, done with pastels, the black of course, just kind of darkening some of the areas until I got the look that I wanted. And as you can see, it just kind of gradually builds up your shadows as you go. And then once I got all that done, I just kind of did a mist again of that yellow orch, transparent yellow orch, over the whole piece, and I called the skin tone done. Now the tops of his veining on his hands, I'd used a blue pastel, just gently feathered in the veining for his hands. And for his mouth area, what I did is I enlisted again from the Badger Freak Flex line. I gave the teeth and the nails a coat of Rotten Tooth Tan. Then I just kind of used this bleach bone tan for his teeth and his nails. And then what you do is you want to make dirty that up. So I enlisted transparent dark brown for that, and I just kind of misted it over the fingers, over the teeth, and dabbed it off with a little Q-tip. And I left the finger area toward the bottom of the nail a little bit darker. So I had that going on for both, and that finished off his teeth. Once you do the transparent dark brown, you may want to go back in with the bleach bone tan and just kind of lightly hit the tips, the centers if you will, to give it that transition of colors. Now for his lips area, I enlisted from Graduous Colors tongue, and I just lightly with my Badger Chrome sprayed the lips and just kind of worked that in. And then I took a red pastel and just kind of gently feathered over the lips just to give it a different shade. Inside of his mouth, along the bottom of the teeth, and inside the mouth itself, I enlisted my favorite color of red oxide. And I just simply took that and just kind of painted it in with a real fine brush. And that finished off his mouth. Now, onto the eyes have it. The eyes, I used a couple different colors that you may not think of even. A lot I've seen them brown, I've seen them black. I chose to go with like a yellowish, brownish yellow look is the best way I can describe it. Just something intense. You know, this kit is so beautifully done by Pat that I wanted the eyes to be penetrating. So I started out with Badger Freak Flex Nicotine Yellow. And once I painted in the eye pupil itself, I used the Body Bag Black. And then I enlisted that color of the Nicotine Yellow, painted in the eye, leaving a hint of the black so you can see the outer rim of the pupil. And then I came in with the Poisonous Plague Yellow, and I drew in toward the center of the eye. I used that with a fine brush. I just kind of painted that in. So you've got the Poisonous Plague, Nicotine Yellow, black outline, boom. That was simply taking the Body Bag Black and creating the center of the eye, the pupil. That took just basically I just take a real fine brush and just do circular motions to get the first part, and then I fill it in. And that basically was his eye. Now I did fail to tell you on the eye, the base color of the eye itself was bleach bone tan. And then I drew in the pupil, then I started building up my colors. And that was it for his eyes. Now for his hair, over the black, I simply used the Dead Guy Gray and just dry brushed the areas itself, which finished that off nicely. Now you see the little parts of his white shirt by the hands. That was simply dry brush and painted on with this bone white from Graduous Colors. And I just kind of painted that in lightly, and I just built up the colors. I was going to airbrush it, but I didn't feel like taping off the hands and getting into all that. So I just basically, imagine that, old school paintbrush. And that is the Phantom of the Opera. I believe it is still available from Monsters in Motion. You can reach out to Terry over there and ask him, tell him you saw it on Talking Models, and see if he can get you one of these. So this guy will be on his way later today to California, to his new home, and bringing memories and monster looks to his new home soon. So thanks for stopping in today to Talking Models. I appreciate you supporting this channel, taking time out of your day to watch this. Pass this channel on to your friends, other hobbyists in the hobby that you know. Let them know we're here. I'd appreciate it if you subscribe. I'm trying to get to the magic 200. So maybe one of you watching this today can help me get there. I'd greatly appreciate it. So thanks again for stopping in. Have a great day today, and as always, may the Lord bless your day.